Action on the track, boy.
Put it in the blunt. Put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth of the moonrise, quarter of the runs. Put it in the blunt. Put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth of the moonrise, quarter of the runs. I be with Afghans that all got pet Afghans, wrapped up in Afghans, smoking the Afghans. I be with Afghans that all got pet Afghans, wrapped up in Afghans, smoking the Afghan. Kid out of work, got my pack, lift up my shirt, cock my gat. I am Hazok, I don't act. I got 2 magazines that watch my back. Break the grams, I spark it. They sitting all day long just talking. Inhale till I'm coughing, while I'm standing on my magic carpet. Swerving, I'm swerving, on the Persian swerving. Look so smooth, move so fast, they thought that it was German. I'm puffing on that poison, it gotta be that Durban. Save some buds for later, boy, I tuck it up in the turban. Put it in the blunt, put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth to the moonrise, quarter of the runs. Put it in the blunt, put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth to the moonrise, quarter of the runs. Take this snug and break it up. Right down the middle, I'll show you how to gut. Lick and twist or roll it up. Tell by the smell, they know it's us. Take this snug and break it up. Right down the middle, I'll show you how to gut. Lick and twist or roll it up. Tell by the smell, they know it's us. Boy, why you backing out? I got things to rap about. Hit the lick and hand it out. Flip the brick and stack it now. Slip in the whip, start lashing out. I might crash inside of your house. Piss in your pots, what's that about? Eat out your fridge, take a shit on your couch. I'm too high to have a bad day. Respect over money like cash is clay. Loving other drugs ain't had to wait. Find me in the bay, not Mandalay. Get buck if you need it like Tampa Bay. Run your crib, J Master J. Proudly pray 5 times a day. If I can make sense what the mullah say. Put it in the blunt, put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth to the moonrise, quarter of the runs. Put it in the blunt, put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front. Eighth to the moonrise, quarter of the runs. Put it in the blunt, put it in the blunt. At the trap house, they know what I want. One way change, I get it for the front.
All right, what's going on, y'all? I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Loner Lounge podcast. I got a guest with me today, man. Now I'm gonna try not to butcher the name and all. Is it Hazok? Is that how you pronounce it?
It's actually the Hazok.
Hazok. All right, excuse me. Hazok. He's a hip hop artist from New York. And he's got a new single out right now called Afghan Kush. Is that right? If I pronounce it, I say that right? Correct. Okay, yeah. All right, so it's called Afghan Kush, and it's on his YouTube channel, and he's also got it on promoting it on Twitter as well. So if you don't follow him on Twitter, give him your Twitter handle real quick so they can go follow you on there.
Yes, the Hazok Music. It's HAZOKMUSIC.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I heard the song, man, that Afghan Kush. That was a whole mood, a whole vibe. That shit was hard. I liked that, man. That beat was crazy.
Appreciate that. Yeah, you know I had to do one for Pop, man.
Yeah, man. That dude. I was I don't know if you knew him personally or not. But I was a huge fan of that dude, man. He had such an energy, you know, that old grimy New York type of energy that it was crazy that he passed, man.
Facts, man. Yeah, rest in peace to him. Nah, I didn't know him personally, but it was just like I really appreciated like the whole movement he had going on.
Absolutely, man. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get started with some questions for you, man. So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 31.
31. Okay, I got you. Now I want to know the exact moment, if you can recall, that you heard your very first any kind of hip hop at all? Like, where was you? How old was you? And what was it you heard?
Shit, man. That's why I guess it started with like 50 Cent. Yeah, I want to say it started with like the whole 50 Cent G Unit movement. And I kind of hopped on at that point. I probably started writing though when I was like 16.
Yeah, so you've been writing for a long time, man. That's that's a long run right there. All
yeah,
right.
I call it a love-hate relationship.
Oh, really? Explain that a little bit for me. What you mean by that?
So like I write a lot of times like what I feel, what I'm going through, and sometimes those are the hardest lyrics to write.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I did watch a music video that you had. The name of it escapes me right now, but you was getting really deep on it, and there was a guy on the hook that was singing. It was beautiful, man. Yeah, you was definitely talking. You was real emotional on that one. I could tell. I think it was like the first video you posted on your YouTube. It was at the bottom of the list when I got on there. I forget what it's called, man, but it was a cool song, real good song.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so that's actually about the Palestinian situation with Israel and everything. And I'm not Palestinian or even Middle Eastern, but it's just a situation that I was exposed to from a young age. Just being a part of the Islamic community up here in Rochester. So like one thing about that song that I don't know if people were hip to it or not, but I'm a punchline rapper, and with that song, I made all my lines were straight like metaphors and the punchlines, but specifically about that conflict.
Yeah, definitely, man. When I listened to it, you definitely had the flow down. The lyrics was just pumping out, man. You was definitely talking some shit on there. I didn't know the song was that deep though, man. But I knew it had some kind of meaning to it, because when you watch the video and you listen to the song, you definitely can tell that it was coming from a pure place, when you recorded that.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm personally from Afghanistan. Like, I hope to speak on that situation, sometime in the future. But yeah, man, like, that's kind of like, I wouldn't call myself like a conscious rapper, but I mean, if the situation warrants it, I can really, I can take it there.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like that's kind of a lost art in hip hop nowadays. Like, a lot of these people that's rapping now, they don't really take time to sit down and really structure a song anymore, or really take time with their lyrics, and really have too much substance. They kind of just go in the studio, get a catchy beat and throw something on it. But I don't, it's a lost art for artists to actually work, the real word work, you know what I'm saying? Go in the studio and literally put together a masterpiece from scratch. It's a lost art, man. So I do appreciate artists like you and others I've interviewed, that still hold on, to that authentic side of the music,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I was raised in the 2000s era hip hop. I had a good mentor and everything, and I really appreciated like all the songs that had like a real message or real metaphor. Or you kind of just like, after finishing the song, you're like, wow, or like. Right. Or like each time you listen to the song, you pick up something new. Like, that's kind of the music I strive to make.
Right, man. So you said you had a good mentor growing up, man. With the hip hop stuff, do you want to get into who that was and what all he did for you?
Yeah. So he goes by the rap name of Cash Surf. He doesn't have much music out right now, but when I started, when I was like 16, he was on the battle rap scene quite a bit, and he was making music as well. And he kind of just got known in the local area. And we have a local rapper as well named Sunny New York, and he was in the BET Freestyle Friday Hall of Fame, and he got signed by Soso, by Jermaine Dupri.
Holy shit! And, really?
Yeah. Wow. And Cash Surf had a strong connection with Sonny New York. There were talks to him about signing with So-So. But unfortunately, Sonny New York, he got dropped by So-So Def, so that kind of fell through. But yeah, for sure, man. I had a good mentor, man. He put me through the boot camp early.
All right. Well, tell me some of the things that he would make you do to like teach you, or what did he teach you? If you don't mind getting into a few things that you really held on to that he gave you.
It was more of like, yeah, like just like spitting in the whip. You know, who came with like the hardest punchlines, metaphors. You know, like start to battle, because you know a lot of punchlines. I feel like it originates in like freestyle battling at first.
Right.
But yeah, like he would, you know, just kind of put me through the ringer some days, man. Like, just freestyle for like hours and hours in his own studio, or we would work on songs over and over again. And he would just like, every time I thought I spit some hot, he would, just to bring me down to earth. You know, he really like humbled me starting off, and he would make me get like freestyle against like anybody and everybody.
Okay,
and
I got
it
you.
was, yeah, it was. He did not go easy on me. I put it that way.
It sounds to me like he's, you know, he taught you how to get that battle rapper aggression and competitiveness in you with your whole thing you had going on, because that what he was doing with all of that is trying to make you get over the fear of, you know, going at it and battling with somebody off the spot, off the head. Like, it sounds like he was giving you that aggression that a lot of battlers have, you know.
Facts. I mean, like to this day, like these new age rappers, like sometimes they ask me, they're like, how are you like not afraid to just walk up to random people and start rapping like you're gonna rip their head off and shit? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. It was kind of just like ingrained in me. I feel like some rappers nowadays, like that's not so much the norm anymore. But in the 2000s, it was like, can't be afraid to like walk up to anybody and start spitting, you know?
Right. Absolutely, man. Because I always get into this kind of debate with friends of mine, you know, about what era was actually the better music wise. And we always go for the 90s or the early 2000s. And it's a hell of a conversation to have, man. But I want to know where you stand on that, because let's remember this, anybody listening, the 2000s, it might not have had, you know, most of the swag that the 90s artists had, but it had some of the biggest hits in the world come out in the 90s. So, in the early 2000s, excuse me. So what's your stand? Like what era, the golden era of the 90s or the 2000s? Like what preference would you go to as far as like the best era for music? What's your take on that?
I want to say early 2000s for me. Where like R&B still had like a strong influence on even like the harder like rap songs. I feel like later in the 2000s and starting like in like 2010, 2012, I feel like R&B and like that real rap kind of just separated into their own lanes. But like yeah, I just feel like hip hop was more of a collective thing in the early 2000s. I feel like it stayed more true to the era that preceded it, the 90s.
Yeah, to me, it kind of seemed like, you know, the 80s built the groundwork, and then, you know, the 90s busted the door down at the labels, and then the early 2000s, that's when they started really raking in money and enjoying, you know, all the fruits of the predecessors. You know, that's how it looked like to me. Like it was kind of a chain of events that happened through the different eras, you know, and you know, the early 2000s just had a lot more fun music. You know, the music today, you know, it's kind of all depressing, and, you know, a lot of people are crying on records and shit all the time. And it's just hard to listen to that stuff when you're having a good day, you know, or it's either very violent or, you know, you might not be on it. But like early 2000s music was just about having a good time, about, you know, getting your money and just living a good life, you know. And I loved that whole energy that the early 2000s music brought to the game. It was just a very fun era for music, man. Matter of fact, what was your favorite artist or artist that you gravitated toward in the early 2000s?
So I got a top 3.
Oh, let's hear it, man. Let's get to it. What you got, man?
All right. My number 1 is Eminem.
Okay.
My number 2 is Cassidy the Hustler.
That's a tough one. He can spit his ass off.
Yep. And my number 3 is Fabulous.
Really? Okay. I haven't heard Fabulous in a lot of people's top 3s, man. That's interesting. Even though he's like he's a real ill lyricist, man. Been doing it a long time, but you know, you don't really hear him in top 3s like you should. You know, I don't know how it is.
Yeah,
in New York,
yeah. Right. I mean, yeah, maybe it was just like I'm from like New York State or whatnot, or I don't know what it is, but like when I discovered his rhyme scheme, it just blew my mind away. Cause like if you pay attention to Fabulous rhyme scheme, like when he was spitting in the 2000s, I never seen another rapper that will rap one bar and it will symmetrically rhyme with the second bar. Like what I mean by that is like the first word of the first bar will rhyme with the first word of the second bar. Third word of the first bar will rhyme with the third word of the second bar. And like that kind of shit just blew my mind. Like there were some rappers that did like the last 2 words of the bar with the last 2 words of the second bar and etc. But like I never came across a lyricist that was able to do that and also include like the punchlines and imagery. So that's kind of why I fell in love with his music.
Okay, right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man, because he put a lot into his craft, but he also had a hell of a swag about him. Like he just made it look so damn easy, you know. It was crazy.
Yeah, facts, man. Just like just the way he spits, he just makes it seem so effortless. And I feel like Lloyd Banks, he had a bit of that style as well.
Oh man, Lloyd Banks. Oh man, that dude when he really wanted to, when he was really feeling a track, man, he was an animal, straight animal.
Yeah, nah, I feel like on the East Coast, man, we were, especially like Northeast, like New York, Philly, even like the DMV area, like we were spoiled with a lot of like lyrical fire mixtapes, man. Like
absolutely.
Like I talked to people from like the West Coast and they don't even understand who mixtape Eminem is. You know, when people say mixtape Eminem or like, you know, like the commercial Eminem, like I just feel bad for people who never even experienced mixtape Eminem.
Right. I mean, he was a crazy little shit when he came out, man. And I don't mean no disrespect by that, but he was crazy, man. He would say any wild shit, and like you'd be like, "What the fuck was that?" But he'd make it sound so damn cool when he said it, and he just made it rhyme and flow in such a way you just accepted it. Like this dude is crazy, but he's off the chain. Like he had one of those styles you couldn't quite clock it, but it was just it hit you from some kind of abstract angle. You was just like, this guy he's not normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like just like imagining if like Eminem came out today, man, like man, like a lot of the shit he said was not PC at all, bro. Like,
right, I loved it, man. We still need a good balance out here of that shit. You know, we need the side that's, you know, more lenient, and we need a side that's like, I don't give a damn. I'm doing what I want to do, and you got to deal with it. So it needs to be a healthy balance out here of that. So he definitely, with his new projects he dropped, he definitely stuck it to him out here. He didn't care at all.
Facts, man.
So that leads me to my next question. I don't know how many shows you got under your belt, but if you got any, do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of people, and kind of explain that experience?
I was in the battle rap scene for quite a while, maybe like 5 years, but I've never like rapped live, but I've never rapped on stage, but I have rapped to like so many different crowds of people, man. Like I've rapped in Europe to like 40 people who barely understand English. I've rapped to probably around like 30 American Marines on a military base.
That's a tough crowd.
Yeah, I've rapped, you know what I mean? Like there was a tape here in Rochester, New York. It was kind of like Smack DVD. We called it like Slap DVD.
Right.
I was on there a couple times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've been in the crowds. I've been in some really like intense ciphers, but never on stage.
All right. So tell me, do you remember your first time battling in front of a crowd? Like, what was that like? And how old were you when you did that?
So it was high school, and it was a Puerto Rican kid. And I guess like just because he came to our high school through like the urban suburban program. He thought, you know, like he got anybody. So we battled. Yeah, I don't think he ever heard me rap before, but I was always in the cafeteria, man. Like I would skip class to write in my rhyme book in the cafeteria. Like it was
that shit serious, huh?
Yeah, I would, like, when I first started rapping, man, I remember I filled up 3 rhyme books, threw them out.
Damn.
Filled the rhyme book, threw it out. Filled up a rhyme book, threw it out. You know, like
that's
kind of what I did. Yeah, man, like 300-page rhyme books, right. But
man.
yeah. So we get in the cipher and everything, and he was going out with a chick, a popular chick. So the cipher was growing. We had about like, I don't know, like 40 people. The hallway was jam packed. Like, I don't know, like there was mad heads in there. And then we started battling. He was Puerto Rican. I'm from Afghanistan, so he spit some Arab jokes. I spit some, you know, like Hispanic jokes.
Right.
But I don't know, like personally, I thought it was even. I really didn't think anybody won. Like I was nervous as hell. You know, palm sweaty, all that good shit. But you know, like we did the thing, man. And yeah, we went 3 rounds, and then I guess like I don't know, cause like he wanted to fight me after. So like
shit.
yeah, so like when he tried to fight me, I was like, oh shit, I guess I won, because like why would he be trying to fight me if it was even, or if I had lost? Like the crowd reaction, like most people said, they're like, yeah, it was a tie, it was a good battle, it was a tie, but like dude still wanted to scrap, so like that was interesting.
So it's safe to say you got pretty thick skin to be able to come from a battling scene. You probably done heard every bad shit that you could hear about yourself from your opponents. You probably got some real thick skin when it comes to people saying shit to you at this point, huh?
Man, just being like a rapper from Afghanistan, live in America, that alone had like it's like crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's very unique though. I've never heard of that kind of a background, like a rapper from Afghanistan that grew up in the Mecca of hip hop, New York, that came up in a battling scene. That's like that's a unique situation right there.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like Muslims, man, they're Muslim people like they like to take one thing and take it to the extreme, man. They just like to dive head first and just, you know, just put their head down and work at it and stuff. So like I feel like, man, it was even like that whole like, I don't know, like maybe like, you know, like the Fugees, just like the immigrant mentality, you know what I mean? Just
some hard working ass people, man. The immigrant mentality, they work their asses off, man. They build shit from the ground up. Every immigrant I've ever came across, man, they had their shit. They was either on the way of getting their shit together or they had their shit together because they work very hard. No doubt.
Facts, man. And like even the people I talk with now, like they you know, like people just trying to rap, they sometimes ask me, you know, for advice and shit, and I'm just like, man, don't ask me for nothing. I'm a perfect example of someone who dove way too deep in the rap than he should have. You know?
Right. You just said, hell, fuck it, let's see what happens. You know?
Right.
All right, man. Well, yeah, that's good shit, man. So let me ask you this. Now, this is a random ass question, man, but you know, my podcast, I don't know if you know the listeners might know, but you probably don't know. You know, my podcast can go anywhere. It could go left, it could go right, it could go off the cliff in either direction. You know, I'm sometimes I could be a little, you know, ignorant, but you know, I'm gonna just ask random shit, and you know, it's what it is. But I want to ask you, man, you're from New York up there, so are you a foodie?
Yeah. So I'm like Western New York. So like a lot of the food you get in the city, like they're not out to me. Like I'm close to like Syracuse, the Buffalo area.
Oh, okay, got you.
So yeah, like I don't know if you ever heard of like a garbage plate or just like
no, I don't know what
like
that
the
is.
buffalo wings.
Yeah, I know a buffalo wing. All right, so let me ask you this now that I know that you're a foodie, man, because I'm a huge foodie myself. What's your go-to dish or what's your go-to food that you can't go too long without it? Like, what's that one thing you have to eat every frequently?
Oh man. I guess for me, man, it's like shit, man. I don't even want to sound like that guy, man, but it's just Chipotle, bro.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So you're just a fast food kind of guy. You don't really care to cook or anything like that. You just kind of eat what tastes good when you go out, type of shit.
Yeah, man. Like even that's an accomplishment for me, bro. Because like I worked in a lot of the corner stores. I was on the corner store the diet till I was like
Oh shit.
22, 23. You know what I mean?
Your organs must look crazy right now.
Oh, bro, like fuck the organs, man. I got like mad cavities right now, bro. All
Oh
that
shit.
candy.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, okay. So you ain't a huge foodie, but you love to eat, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I still I grew up on American food. Like even in my family, like my parents would make like Afghan food for themselves and then they'd feed us like American food. So like
Okay, I got you.
yeah, so like even like I have to go out of my way and go to like an Afghan restaurant to even get something like ethnic or traditional from like when I was growing up, like what I used to eat. So like really, like I mean, like even the other like Afghan kids will like make fun of me and shit, but I mean, like I'm like my main stuff is just like I don't know, anything like American or Italian, really.
Got you. So I'm actually curious about this since I am a foodie. I've never had any Afghan food in my life. So what's some of the homemade dishes your parents would make if you know, like what kind of stuff do they eat in that region? I'm not even sure. Like what would your parents cook, for themselves like that?
Yeah, so we got like it'll either be the main dish that's kind of like known throughout the country. It's a combination of rice, very thin sliced carrots, and raisins.
Really?
And then yeah, and then they'll put in like some sort of meat in there. Usually some drumsticks or something like that. But we also like for our holiday and stuff, once a year, like as part of our religion, we'll like slaughter a goat and then split up the goat meat with like the families and stuff like that, and we'll have goat with like the rice, carrots, and raisins, and we also have like white rice as well. So like a lot of people think like gyros and like they think like that kind of area. Right. Gyros or like hummus or something like that. But Afghan, like I don't know. To be honest with you, man, I feel like Afghan food is very similar to like Jamaican food.
Really?
Yeah, just with like like the meat and the rice and everything. Like that's mainly what it is. Like
so they keep it pretty simple, but they make it tasty as hell. Is what you're trying to get at, right? Like they just keep it simple as they can, but they make it so much more than what the ingredients was, I guess, so to say.
Facts, and a lot of those meals, man, they're like enjoyed with like 10, 15 people, and like everyone there's no like spoons or forks. Everyone kind of just eats out the same plate with their hands.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's the whole family vibe that I like when it comes to eating, man. Just sitting around a big table with all your family, just having a huge ass home cooked meal. That's where it's at right there, man. I was curious about
it's a different feeling, man.
Yeah, because I never, like I said, I've never had any Afghan food, so I was curious, like, what's the cuisine like? They don't have any spots like that where I'm at, so I was curious about that, man. But we're gonna go ahead and push through it, man. Now my next question: do you remember the first hip hop album or physical project that you ever purchased?
Yeah. So that time, like, what was it? Like Napster was big, and like. I think like the iPod just came out, something like that. So like we were doing the pirate thing with the music, man. Like my mentor, he had, I want to say, about 15,000 rap songs on his hard drive.
Oh shit.
And yeah, because I don't know, we would get like these mixtapes, and there were even ways to get the mixtape to like upload to your computer and then like sync all the songs onto your hard drive. And there was a lot of ways we were getting music at that time. But the first album that I ever purchased was The Blueprint.
Oh, Jay-Z. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's a hell of an album to put.
Man.
Yeah, no wonder you bought that, man. That's one to spend money on right there.
Yep. And my favorite track on there is probably the one he did with M. Renegade.
Oh yeah, those man, yeah, them dudes, they belong to that beat. Like they just that was a hell of a song right there, man. I seen them perform it live on a video one time. Yeah, that shit was crazy. That was a hell of a song. I didn't know that was on the Blueprint album though. I'm slacking behind, man. I forgot that was on that project.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it was. And then shortly after that, Jay-Z and Nas had the beef, right? And then Nas was like, "White boy killed you on your own track" or something like that, right?
Oh shit, I believe. Yeah, I believe. I can't really remember, man. I'm getting too damn old. My brain kind of escapes me sometimes, but I believe that might have been how it happened, man. I'm not for sure. Okay, so let me ask you this, man. Now, when it comes to hip hop, the fashion, it has always been a big damn part of, the hip hop culture, man. What was your fad that, you got into as far as the hip hop, how you dress, the swag of it? Like, what was your fad you got into growing up with hip hop?
You mean like the type of like
like clothing, like the clothing fad. Yeah.
So I would wear like trying to think. So I had like a bunch of G-Unit clothes. Then I had some the Brooklyn Express. I don't know if you remember that Brooklyn Express. They were pretty big. And then like that Mesquite, man. I was fucking with that Mesquite too.
I got you. Now let me ask you this, man, because it's another part of the hip hop culture. Are you big into jewelry and purchasing jewelry and shit like that?
I wasn't actually. I wasn't too big into the jewelry. I was more just like into the clothes and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I had a couple chains, nothing too crazy. Just yeah, man. Like to be honest, I ain't had the bread like that, man. I wasn't.
I understand.
I wasn't no breadwinner nothing like that, man.
Right. Okay, I got you. All right, let me ask you this, man. So you said you're from Afghanistan originally, but you moved to New York, or are you born in New York?
Nah, I'm born here. Yeah.
All right. Now, have you traveled outside of New York? Oh yeah, you said you went to Europe earlier, right, for the battling scene. So, how old was you when you went way out there like that, and what sparked you to go that far out of the States to go do some battling, man? What sparked that trip?
So, pretty much like just being from Afghanistan, like my parents escaped the Soviet invasion. So the Russians invaded Afghanistan, and my parents managed to get out. And my dad has like 6 brothers, 7 sisters, something like that. So everyone just went everywhere, man. I got family in Germany, London, Australia, every city in Canada.
Oh,
so
wow.
I kind of, wherever I see, like I go visit my cousins, kind of see them for the first time, whatever. And then they'd be like, "Oh, you from New York?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, you rap?" They're like, "Oh shit." And like, "Oh, like."
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, they would kind of just, like, we'd go to these places where people would just be rapping, and then like you'd just be like, "Yeah, it's my cousin from New York," and everyone would try to like, rap battle me and stuff. Like I feel like even if I didn't rap and like they said I was from New York, I probably would have had a rap, right?
Right. I mean, like I said, you got a very unique background as far as being an Afghan hip hop artist, man. That was raised up in New York. That's a hell of a dynamic, man. But so is Europe the furthest place you've ever traveled to, or have you done stuff in other places? Or
So I went to Afghanistan in 2009 when I was 19, and that's I survived a kidnapping attempt over there. So I kind of haven't returned, but yeah, that's probably like the furthest out I've been, like Afghanistan or India when I was little.
Wow, you've been all over, man. That's dope as hell, man. You're a traveling fella.
Yeah, man. Like I don't like, yeah. Like my dad was just trying to make sure like I'd be able to recognize my family when I saw them, because it was all like aunts, uncles, cousins, and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, nevertheless, it was an amazing experience. They're beautiful people and shit. But it's just like, man, I'll be all right if I never travel again, bro.
I got you, man. All right, man. But let me ask you this, man. What was the first song you ever recorded, and when did you record it?
Oh man. Are we talking like professional studio or like
no, like your first time you ever tried to get record any audio on a beat, like record it all? Like when was the first time you did that?
Ooh, damn. I'm trying to remember the name of the CD that I made. So I made like 6 songs off a laptop mic. And then I named it something. But I'm trying to even remember the first song I made. Oh, yeah, I think it'd be I wrote an acapella actually. It was like an acapella I wrote down, and then I took it home and I recorded it. But like the first track, like over a beat, I actually remixed a Jay-Z song. I think it was "Cry Too Many the Tears."
Oh shit!
And
okay.
Yeah, I remixed that. I kind of just like removed one of his verses, put my verse on there and stuff. So that's kind of how it started. But like, yeah, the first full song I ever made was probably like in 2007, and it was all right. I still would consider it like nursery rhyme rap, but I mean,
right.
Yeah, that was my start.
All right, man. Well, this is gonna lead me to the next question, then, man. This is the one. A lot of artists, they get embarrassed when you ask them on the spot, but I'm gonna ask you anyway, man, because this show is just wild like that. Do you remember the first rap you ever wrote? And could you say it for us if you remember it?
Yeah, I could.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's hear what you had. And how old was you when you wrote your first rap? You remember how old you was?
Yeah, 16.
All right, let's hear it, man. Let's see what 16-year-old you was rapping about.
Here we go. I said, imagine a rapping Arabian assassin that's grabbing and clapping at these mannequin Vaticans that rap past half-ass African acronyms. Lyrics are like the immunization for the sake of a nation that's degrading the patience of an aging generation. The pestilence of excellent injection to intestines. Lessons of redemption that will question my expressions. Because I got urban academics with phonetics. Because I've been mistreated, cheated, and heated. I'm a loser like a nudist, so I spit stupid, ludicrous music. Look inside the mind of an American barbarian, the pinnacle of physical, lyrical miracles. I spit simple, single-syllable symbols, spitting what I'm living since the fucking beginning. As I'm shitting on theism, still insisting on digging the sarcophagus phenomenist, narcotic novelist, unstable and labeled the rapping radical Islamicist. I'm a non-religious, malicious, biggest, sickest spitters to rip it. You get it?
Holy shit! That was your first rap you ever wrote?
Yeah.
What the fuck? No way.
I was
shit.
I was an Eminem fan.
No shit. That's your first rap you ever wrote?
Yes, sir.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh man, ain't no damn way, man. If I tried shit, man. That was your first one and you did it like that? Golly.
Yeah.
What the hell was you listening to at that time to spark that shit? Like what song did you hear certain songs or something?
A lot of Immortal Technique. A lot of Immortal Technique.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, you listen to him, yeah, you're gonna get put in a certain zone to go kill a beat somewhere. Damn, that was a crazy ass rhyme, man. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, I feel like that man raised me partly.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend, man. That dude hit. You talk about somebody that puts deep, thought-provoking stories and shit that just does something to you when you hear it. That guy's like the pinnacle of that.
Yo, that track, The Dance with the Devil, the only song to something to shiver down my spine, man.
That shit was crazy. I mean, I don't know that guy, man. I don't know what the hell he was smoking when he wrote that, but that shit ain't human, man. Like to come up with a concept like that and then make it rhyme and it's just you and the hook is short like that and the verses is long and they each go from one scene to the next. Like that guy's not human. That was crazy when I heard that.
Yeah, man, that track is like what nightmares are made of, bro.
Oh man, you ain't shit. And he's so damn intelligent. It kind of like it kind of surprised me in like a, an ignorant. This is just me being my ignorant self, like I normally am. It kind of damn surprised me though, because I'm like, damn, a hip hop artist from New York, all right, I don't expect them to be like fucking Harvard scholars, but then I watched some interviews this dude did. I'm like, holy shit, this guy could like quote the dictionary right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, well that was a hell of a damn first round, man. Jesus, I wasn't expecting that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was expecting some Dr. Seuss shit or something. I wasn't expecting you to come off like that for your first round. That is nuts.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I had some hard training, bro.
No shit, man. Shout out to that guy, man. He fucking, man. So, cause see, when I heard the Afghan Kush record, you know, it was more like a trappy type of feel, like more of a feel good vibe type of song, you know. But then when you do shit like that, I'm like, this fucking guy could kill something if you like, damn, man. So you like to be versatile with your music and kind of do all type of lanes, or do you like to stick to one formula, or what?
I like to show how versatile I could be. Like, I feel like even sometimes, like, I've even been working on like some EDM tracks and shit. Like, I'm trying to really, cause I feel like I spent the last I haven't been writing rhymes like constantly for 15 years straight. It's kind of been like 5 years on, 5 years off, 5 years on, 5 years off type thing. But like, I feel like, all right, I spent all this time trying to be like as lyrical as possible, like a punchline rapper, like all this other shit. So now I feel like now at this stage, like I'm 30, I've been like, I did the lyrical shit for so long. Like I feel like, all right, maybe I got that down. I don't need to focus on that as much. So now I'm trying to like branch out to see how versatile I could be.
Right, you just having fun with it at this point, you know, just experimenting with your talent there.
Facts.
I got you, man. Yeah, that's dope as hell, man. That's dope as hell, man. So, let me ask you this: where are you trying to take your career, though, man? Like, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years with your music career? Where are you trying to get to?
3 to 5 years. Yeah, I mean, in 3 to 5 years, man, I want people to know my name. If they don't know my name, they at least have like heard my songs. Like, I want to make music that makes an impact. I want to make music that makes you vibe. I want to make music that makes you cry. I want to make music that, like, you know what I mean? I want to cover all the bases. So like when my fans come to my page and they want to listen like to my music, it's not going to be like the same repetitive shit over again. I'm going to take you on a journey.
Oh, that's dope as hell, man. That's dope as hell. So you're gonna be one of those ones that's gonna carry the torch into the newer generation, man, of keeping the skill set and the content level up to a bar. Because it seemed like, you know, they tried to get rid of the bar when the internet hit and everybody could buy a mic from the grocery store and start rapping at home. It kind of like put the bar damn near on the floor as far as talent goes. So it seems like you the type of person that's gonna carry the bar and kind of put it back up to, you got to have like a certain skill set to come fuck with me over here. You know, that I like that.
I mean, it'd be an honor if I get the opportunity, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. So, I mean, is there are you trying to just stay like independent, or is there a major that you looking to one day get involved with, or anything like that?
I'm trying to go indie. Yeah, like I remember Mortal Technique, he went indie. He sold like 100,000 albums even at that time. And I really like what with Russ, like what he preaches. I really appreciate that shit, man, because like the stories I heard from like record labels and just like my own experience of like local rappers I know that it didn't work out for, like, I don't know, I feel like if you make crappy music, you shouldn't be eating at a certain table.
Oh shit, yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard. I like that. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, man. You know, there should be a bar set, and you know they kind of lowered it, but you know it'll get back to where it was, man. But I want to ask you, like, what's your beat picking process like? You know, like how do you choose a beat, and is there any specific producers that you like to mess with when you're making a record?
So, yeah, so I guess like one thing that opened my eyes to the whole beat selecting process for artists is the BPMs. I never really paid much attention to the BPMs, and then I had a buddy that started making his own beats and stuff, and he kind of put me on the BPMs. Like before that, I didn't really know what they were, and then like I discovered like every rapper kind of has a range, and then I found my range. My range is like, I don't know, like anywhere from like 80 BPMs to 115, 120. So once like I kind of like look for, for BPMs in that kind of range. I like really hype stuff, or like even like cool samples and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like like a lot of my people, like they tell me, man, they're like, you're really sick at like the beats you pick and everything. And like it's kind of hard to pinpoint like where that came from, but I like to believe it's from my taste in music. Just from being from like the 2000s era. Like a lot of our beats in that era were like heavily sampled, and they're really like hype joints and stuff like that. I feel like in this new era, it's like a new sound, and people don't know what sounds hot. And I feel like some rappers just pick a beat because of like the type of beat it is, not for the quality of the beat.
Right. I agree with you, man. Yeah, that's dope. All right, so you took us through the beat picking process with you, man. So what's your writing process like? Is there anything specific that you have to have when you're going into your writing mode, like any kind of guilty pleasure? Or is there any kind of certain setting you like to be in when you write, or a certain place? Or do you like to write on a certain thing? Or how'd you get down with your writing process?
So I've written in the car before. Like I can do it, but I don't like to, because I mean I've spent like 3 days on a verse before. Like I really take pride in like in my lyrics. I am a firm believer that every word I put in that verse is there for a reason, has its own purpose. Like if I wrote there's a reason I didn't pick any other like 3-letter word. Like the is there for like a specific reason.
Wow.
So yeah, man, like I really put a lot of time and effort into my verses. But I don't like I've recorded songs in the backseat of a car. Like I've written verses and stuff like that. But I'd say I'm most comfortable sober in my room, just just like working on a verse, listening to the beat. But I guess one thing I do that is not this, like I haven't heard a lot of other artists do, is like I'll listen to other music for like inspiration and stuff. Like if I feel like, all right, this beat has like a Music Soul Child kind of style, and I'm trying to write a love song and I hit a brick wall, I'll go listen to like his greatest hits or like some random Music Soul Child song just to get me inspired to finish the verse. Or if like I'm feeling that the verse isn't lyrical enough, man, I'll like take a break, go listen to a whole like Slim Shady mixtape or some shit, and then get back to it.
Right. Yeah, that's dope, man. You always got to spark that motivation back up, because that writer's block is real, especially with someone like you that takes so much time with your lyrics. You definitely run into a lot of walls with that. It takes a lot of work, a lot of thinking, stuff like that. So yeah, I could see that, man. Definitely having to go get some inspiration from here and there, man. That's good stuff. But we finna try to wrap this up, man. I want you to give out all your social media accounts, where people can find you at, where they can get a hold of your music, when they can expect new music, give all your shout outs and everything. Just go crazy, man. What you got?
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, so the rap name's Hazok, Hazok. You can find me under that on YouTube, Spotify. I'm on a TikTok as well, Apple Music, wherever you get it, man. Just look up Hazok, and then my it's spelled Hazok, and my IG is the Afghan Stallion. You know what I mean? Because what you call it? I know there's a Meg the Stallion, but
right.
That's like a male horse, right?
Yeah, Stallion. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. All right, you got any shout outs you want to give out to anybody listening, man? Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Cast Surf. Shout out to my publicist Miguel. Much love to him. Like anybody in the rock that's just grinding right now. Anybody in New York, much love to everybody. And just a rest in peace. Not only to X, but like everybody we've lost in this past year and a half, man. I just want to tell everyone,
crazy.
you know what I mean, like stay strong, y'all. Keep your head up, man. Like we've all lost people and shit, but just keep pushing, y'all.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's been a rough damn time for hip hop lately, man. But look, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. I really did appreciate it. I knew we was gonna have a good time with it, man, because I heard that song Afghan Kush. That's the new single out right now on the platforms, man. Y'all better go cop that. It's a hell of a song. I liked it a lot, man. I was in a vibe when I was listening to it, man. I was in the truck on the way to work earlier today. I had to go do some shit at my job. I had it playing in the truck, man. That shit was a vibe riding to that. So y'all make sure y'all go listen to that, man. Go follow him on all his social media. This is the Loner Lounge podcast, man. And anybody listening, if you got any questions, any topics, or if you want to be a guest on the show just to cut the shit, you know what I'm saying, just talk shit, whatever, you can, bring it on, man. Send in questions, send in your topics, send in any funny stories you want me to share on the show, invite your mama, whatever it is. If you want to be a guest on the show, just, send me some messages, man. We can get you on here. We can just shoot the shit, whatever you want to talk about. We get it done. I want to thank Miguel, man, your publicist, man, for hooking all of this up. He's a hell of a worker, man. He hit the ground running with that. He got it done real quick. So that's respectable, man. He got it done real quick. So, yeah, man, we finna cut this short, man. It's the Loner Lounge podcast. I want to appreciate everybody listening, man. I'll see y'all on the next one.